Or from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. How are you today, Sindal?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mike?
Woo! I don't even know. It's been a whirlwind. It's been such an amazing. Nobody wants to hear me complain about being too busy hanging out with amazing people and all that stuff, right? Most of you all today were with Bob Berg, right? We had Bob Berg and we had Jeff West, Kim Angeli. That was amazing. And you ran the back show. You did an amazing job. They were impressed. We're all impressed by you. So thank you so much, you shy little thing. We're so appreciative.
Well, it was a blast. I always love running the back show. I have so much fun back there laughing my butt off, and y'all don't know anything because I'm always on mute, so no one knows how hard I'm laughing, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Oh, there's a lot of fun in the backstage, right? Like that's where the all the
That's what
goofy and buffoonery and yeah, me, it's goofy, yeah. So tell everybody, all right, so you're a mama, right?
I am a mama. I have three, and they're all girls. Every last one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, three. That's why I
Fun.
stopped at two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have that chromosome that makes boys. I guess it's one of us don't. I don't know. But so excited to have everybody here, have you here. This is a fun time. We've all worked our tails off. We're all tired. So we're going to celebrate mamas, in particular, Hounds mamas, right? And more special about it is that the Hounds men, all right, are going to spotlight Hounds women. We're going to interview them. These are people who work inside behind the scenes. They're pushing people up. They're active. Some of them you see all the time in the chats in the Hounds. Sometimes you don't see them, but they're all doing meaningful things. And we even got a Hound that's like, what, 5 days old or something. She's on here. Oh yeah, she came right in and just started doing amazing things, helping people, helping me. That's what I say. Seniority doesn't matter, right? If you're aligned and you're ready to come in here and give, then you're going to get. That's how we do it here. So thank you so much, everyone. The people on here earned it. That you know them, support them, have fun, go grab a beverage, have a great time. Let's get the party started. How about it?
Let's do this thing. Well,
Yeah,
I hit
let's do
the
it.
wrong buttons. Bear with me, guys. And here we go.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashabraner, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
All right, y'all tricked me. Nobody watches the first 2 minutes of this show. Now everybody's here, right? I'm just up here rambling. No outhouse pictures, none of that fun stuff, and y'all come. So thank you for coming. Hey, have fun. Share your stories. Talk about, mothers, your mothers other people know, right? Just go in there, have fun, network, talk to each other, have fun, let it down. All right. Get to know people. If you're in the Hounds, hey, thank you for being here. All right. If you're not a Hound, hey, what are you waiting for? All right. So connect with a high level, heart centered pack of people that's unbelievable. Even when you can't talk like this guy here, like Elmer Fudd, because you've been talking for all week, people are still supportive. So thank you guys so much. I'm not going to ramble. I'm just going to go ahead and pull two people up. Let me introduce them. Two people who came into my life last April. All right.
Yeah.
Don't know where you found me. Maybe it was like Beetlejuice. You just popped out of the dryer vent. I have no idea why or how you found me. Maybe you could fill me in.
We were looking for
But no,
entertainment.
was that it? So hey, let me gush on you before you say something because I might not want to say it. Joking. So it was last year, the last April, and just kind of building the pack. Right, we're making friends, trying to figure things out, and here comes Tanya. Right, and I have seen a whole bunch of people not impress me. Let's put it that way, right? And they're trying to get stuff and all this thing. You know how people are, right? They're all about their self. And so she comes in and just starts talking about me and the pack and what she can do for others. And I'm like, what's she up to? Well, after a couple of weeks of that, nothing. Imagine that she ain't up to anything, right? So I'm not going to make you blush too much, but she just wanted to be a part of it. and she saw something special. And that's the kind of
Mhm.
affirmation that helped me and the rest of the pack. The other people that said, hey, there's something special here. Because without that, guys, honestly, I would not know. It's not that I had lack of confidence. I just never done this before. I never started a community before, never intended to start one. Kind of an unexpected leader. So when we start attracting people, more people, right? Business folks, other folks from different industries, and they had the spirit of reciprocity, right? They were successful, but they were successful because they were go givers, right? Just like old Bob, right? I mean, as we're talking about today, and that impressed me. So, in the last year, what you guys have done, and this goes from so many, almost every member of the pack. If you've been here for a couple of weeks and you've been involved, the ripple effect that you guys have is just amazing. You don't understand the lives you've helped change, the things you've done has helped other people who helped other people who help other people. That is to be celebrated. So we're celebrating mamas, but honestly, I'm celebrating you guys every day. The pack, you guys make this special. So enough gush time. Um, Michael, how did you two meet? And I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce Tanya because she's a proud mama. She juggles all of this business and puts up with me and everybody, and she still finds time for her kids and you. So, without further ado, guys, take it away. I'll just be sitting here doing monkey stuff. Um, but you got my full support. So proud of you guys, man. So happy and blessed.
Well, thank you.
We're
Thank you.
equally blessed, my friend.
We've enjoyed from the second she connected
so.
with you. Like, we have loved you, we love this community, and we love what it stands for, what you stand for, and it trickles down to everybody else. And it's we just love being a part of it. We want everybody to succeed, and we love the Hounds and love you. All right. And I love this woman right here. And so to give you a little bit of the background check, I opened up a real estate brokerage. I had been in real estate for years and years and years, a real estate auctioneer, an auctioneer by trade. I've sold more residential real estate than any one broker on earth, well into the hundreds of thousands. We auctioned off 175,000 residential properties. I've sold properties in 35 states. But I'm from a little bitty small town north of Atlanta. That's where this voice comes from, and that's why me and Michael get along so great. So I opened up a small brokerage here in Jefferson, Georgia, and a lady that helped me open this brokerage about 2 weeks after we got started said, our marketing stinks, and you need to talk to my niece. And at the time she was in Columbus, Ohio, she was running a full broker, like an agency for marketing. And I thought I was hiring her for marketing to help me with my company. And she taught me branding. I didn't know she had written a book. She launched the book while she was working with me. The book becomes an international bestseller. She asked me to write the second book for real estate professionals. I did that with her. She did all the hard work. Pretty much since then, I've been telling everybody that the secret of my success is just listen to whatever she tells me. So that's pretty much what we're here. So when you ask me, hey, would you come on here and help honor the mothers and stuff? I thought absolutely. If it wasn't for my mother and her mother, she would definitely be, in my opinion, the greatest mother that has ever lived. And so we have 4 kids between us. We have Katie, our oldest, and then we have Chuck, and then we have Ashton, and we have Lane. And so I think my job now is to honor this beautiful woman, not only for being the greatest thing that ever happened in my life, but for our children also. So I'm going to ask her some very poignant questions, I think.
Wait a minute. Anybody in the comments, in the chat, anybody think this man should write Hallmark cards? I do that. Did you? How long did it take? Did you just pull?
I'm getting
He's
dinner.
making me tear up.
I'm getting dinner cooked.
Yeah.
Well, you are. You. This is a man who never
For
has
about
to
a
sleep
month,
in the doghouse.
right?
Yeah. This is the guy who. Hey, take notes, young people. This is how you do it. All right, go ahead. I'm done.
It is true. It is absolutely true. She changed my life in business. I had been a serial entrepreneur for years, but my business didn't turn around into a serious growing business until I met her and applied the principles that she taught. And now we're lucky enough to be able to share those with all kinds of walks of life and all kinds of different businesses. She's an extremely intelligent person that hails from the moonshine capital of the world, Dawsonville, Georgia. Also the home of stock car racing, and we'll argue that with any of y'all from Statesville, North Carolina, as long as you want to argue that point. But hillbillies, we're definitely both raised hillbillies, but we didn't meet each other for years. Like, we live 45 minutes from each other, and we've only known each other for about 12 years now. So it's been a transformative 12 years. But let's let the audience sort of learn a little bit more about the Tanya that I know. I'm going to ask some questions. All right. What would the people listening be surprised to learn about you that they could not find out on your social media?
Okay. So, probably first of all, this may not bode well, but I'm a trash talker.
She is a trash talker.
So I could probably be on a wrestling show of some sort. But anytime we go to play cards or a board game or anything with the family, I trash talk. I literally play psychological warfare for days before the game and try to psych people out. And I'm not so sure that maybe that's something that should embarrass me, but honestly, it doesn't. I debated with my son. Yeah, what's that?
She's brutal.
We want to hear you. Trash talk now. We want to hear it because I don't believe it. You've never said anything.
Whose show are you on, Mike? Is it yours or mine? Because I think I'm talking right now, buddy. And this is my platform. I'm the mom. Are you the mom? Right? That's trash talk.
Oh, wow.
He's good.
You see, and I love you, Mike.
I'm a believer. Go.
Give me my platform, right? No, it's so much fun. Listen, I got to take just a second because I know we don't have too much time left here. And Michael, I love you. I can't even tell you how much I love this man. But I just want to say hi to some other amazing women on here. Christine Bell, Jackie, Dr. Neutron, Susanna Dawn, Dr. CJ, Dr. Constance Leyland. Love you guys. And I know I'm going to miss out on some, most importantly, Miss Isabel, who I've come to know and love so well. And you guys, I love you so much. And thank you for being part of it.
And how about Sindal? I think her middle name should be Get It.
Sindal.
So then she could be Sindal Get It Done.
That's right. Sindal is amazing. She's so amazing. And I knew I was going to forget somebody really important. All of you are important. So thank you for tuning in. So,
yes.
Anyway.
And before my next question, thank you, mothers everywhere.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
We got 3 minutes left.
All right, 3 minutes. What would you be embarrassed if people found out about you? What would be the most embarrassing thing people would find out about you?
I'm going to fess up here. I hate social media. I hate it. And I'm a branding person, right? And Mike probably gets this. He sees this, and Isabel's going, yep, I know she does. I hear you, Isabel, even in my ear, I hear you. And that's because I just don't I don't share a lot, right? I'm a very private person. And so what you see out there is really a lot of business stuff and not a whole lot of personal stuff. And Mike keeps pounding on me, and Izzy keeps pounding on me.
Truth.
Make sure you share the personal stuff because people want to know. And part of me thinks, really? I don't think they do, but I hate it. And I'm just going to fess up and say that's what it is. But I realize how important it is in our lives today and how I am interested in what all of you are doing. I don't know why I don't feel it the other way back, but that's just the truth. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit that being a branding
I can help
person.
with that. I know her well enough to know that if we could all make it real, it would be an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
That is true.
Okay.
There's a lot of fluff out there.
All right. How about this? If you could be any animal on earth, what would that animal be?
All right. We'll take this and then we'll bow out here.
It won't be a turtle.
No, it's going to be a bird. It's going to be a bird because I can see everything at once. And if I need to do some damage, I can. But if I also need to swoop down and help somebody, I can. I'll leave that imagination up to you guys. But yeah, I love seeing the whole picture. And a funny story is I was asked that in a high school beauty pageant, and I answered it incorrectly in a not very nice way. I said, well, I would want to be a bird so I can look down on everybody who's looked down on me in the past. I actually said that, and I was in the top 5. And guess where I ended up? The bottom. The top 5. There you go. That's brutal honesty, as brutal as it gets.
That's a great example of the right intent, the wrong words.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Species, please. I would say, that's a good one. A bluebird. I don't know why. There's chipper. They're
I like the bluebirds.
They're
sure.
lighthearted. Thank you, Mike. I know it's other people's turn, so
I have
thank you.
one more
We
question.
love you guys.
If I could squeeze one more question in, what is the best place you've ever visited on earth and why?
Israel, because it's just the center of God's universe, right? I just feel that way. So it's beautiful people, beautiful land.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you for our
All
time here.
No, my pleasure. Hey, love you guys. Appreciate all you do for everyone. You do so much. Thank you. So well done. All right. This is, hey, young people, newly married. This is how you do it. All right. This is how you don't get in trouble. Well played, sir. Hats off. All right.
Thank you
so much. Thank you,
I
Tanya.
represent the luckiest man on earth. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Hallmark, baby. You see that? And that's sincere too. That's what I mean. It can happen. All right. They don't put that in the news because that don't sell. All right. So, but it sells here. We want to see happy. All right. So what's next? I'm not running nothing. Hey, how are you, James?
I'm doing good. I am laughing at Michael, and there's one more question. But I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Are you laughing at me or with me?
No,
No,
laughing
I'm
with
laughing.
you.
I'm laughing.
Never at you,
Oh, okay.
Mike.
Well, you're missing out.
We
You're
love
missing
you.
out. I love
We
you too.
absolutely
So
love
let me give a real brief. James Valentine. Not even sure how I met him. And this is somebody in the pack, brought him here. That's what this is. Because if I came at him, he probably pepper sprayed me right on virtual somehow. So the guy, he's stand-up guy. He came into the pack. He just started working with people, just made a huge impact. And man, and I did what I do. I saw 3 people. I saw you, Lisa, and Melissa. And I put you all in a group chat and said, I don't know, something's here. Y'all go figure it out. 400 messages later, y'all have a show and you're killing it, man. All kinds of things are happening. So thank you all for making me look good. And thank you, Dr. New, for pushing me up all the time. You really were there for a very long time. Somehow you knew when I was down and you were always there pushing me up. And you and Oli, 2 of the top Hounds cheerleaders. So thank you. I'm going to be quiet, let you do your work. And thank you for being here. And wow, I'm blessed.
So,
We love you.
So everyone, yes, we absolutely thank the world of you, Mike. But everyone can hear me okay, right?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So I am super excited, and I think Isabel, or Izzy for short, put me with Dr. New, and I'm excited because I've spoken to almost many of the mothers and many of the women from the Hounds, but Dr. New is someone that I've been kind of chomping at the bit. I know at one point you gave me your number, so I love that I get to kind of in real time get to know you and celebrate you. So we'll start here. We'll just start here. As a mother, because I deal with women, mostly all women, and I always ask them this question because I'm always in awe. How are you able to manage being a parent, but also showing up powerfully in your business?
Because that's a good question. Well, thank you. And I think not only for your kind words and, for all of those who are listening, I always want to say, for those who are watching us live and the replay, it's just, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and I'm honored to not only be present here with the Hounds of Business and like James here that, it's incredible. And so with that, to answer your question, James, it's, I think it's being grateful
I would say being really grateful, the blessing that I have in this moment, because I know that our life is so precious, and it's
Yeah.
also very limited in time, meaning time that we're not able to always guarantee tomorrow. And because I also have many, people in my life that either pass away young and old, that are beyond their age before, and so that I think also with that perspective, I look everything as the gratitude. Literally, if you take out my blood, like I gave blood today, donate blood today, but if
Mhm.
you take out the blood and you do a DNA, I think it's loving kindness and that empathy and compassion. Every moment I talk about this, I'm always raw and I'm real, meaning I'm authentically real with my kids, the same way I'm up here. So I always show up as who I am. I don't need to put on anything else. I don't. And the calmness for me to be present, because kids do drive us a little, pushing our limits, right? Being patient is one of the virtue of being a parent. And I think as a mom of two little kiddos, I would say that I'm blessed to not only be able to really deep dive in my spirituality. That's where my calmness and how I show up is, because I went into that spirituality aspect. So that is my question. I mean, my answer. Is that really answer your question, James?
It does. I mean, any insight that you give us into like the journey of being a mother is gold, is a nugget. So I
Have
am of
to
the
be
belief,
present.
yeah, I am of the belief that our children come here to teach us something as well. What have
Yes.
your children taught you?
Wow. What a wonderful questions. Wow. My kids taught me many, many things. And I think something that we can relate as, our, as, business leaders or any entrepreneur or any as adulthood, right? That age does not define
Yeah,
wisdom, right? They are very wise and they know so much, and they also absorb because they're willing, that curiosity, they get curious, they want to know, so that's why they ask questions. So sometimes they be asking things that you might think is weird, but it's not weird, because it's their perspective, it's their lens, and they're very open mind and very non-judgmental, right? And that's where I
mhm,
believe that sometime in life we forget that because of our experience of whatever it is.
yeah,
So we say, oh, that's why I don't like that so and so. So you put labels, you put people in boxes, right? Because of our own
yeah,
experience. But not everybody is made equal. Not everybody is the same. And I think kids also play well with others and their curiosity and collaborations and making it joyful. Kids taught us a
yeah,
lot of things if we really, and for me, if I go in the park, I go play with them like a kid, right? Or in other things. And I love that, because you can also, if you think you're a parent and you put always that parent has, I'm telling you what to do, you need to do what I as a parent, you have that authority putting in. But sometimes you also have to have a reflection of, you have to also um, lead and show not just what you say, but you have to lead by example, right? So they listen to what our words, but if our action does not align, they're not going to follow us. And that is also something we have to be really intention on, knowing, being aware of our actions. So yes, lots of things to learn.
yes, they teach us a lot. Now I know that you have deep spiritual roots. I think that's one of the things that really resonates with me about you. Um, how does that, first of all, where did that start for you, and how does that translate in being a parent?
Yeah, so for me, spirituality really went in, I think, in our deepest, darkest moment in life, for me, anyways. I don't know what others people, even though we always, as a family, we're always, spirituality has been something highly spiritual, right? But as things hit us, it tests you. It's like testing your belief system. It's testing you. You have to question a lot of things, and even questioning your own existence, right? And that's where mental health and our well-being and who we are in the essence and finding that purpose, it also go back to that spirituality of who we are.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized there's no one, no matter if we look at let's say if new, or like let's say James or others, when we talk about mastermind or gurus or others who are leading the way, who's showing you the tools, but if you, the individual, not willing to do the work, nothing will work, right? You're not willing to do it. And that's, I think, spirituality also taught me that you have to be patient, not be willing to go in and saying, I'm going to read a scripture and then I'm going to expect something out of it, right? No, it's not about reading it, but you got to transform that writing to see how does it implement in your daily life, every moment of your life. When you become that, that is powerful. And then you also make it joyful and fun for the kids. So that's something I think for that transformation on spirituality into the kids, how I implement it is that no matter what we do, right? The essence is that I always tell them that no matter where we are, we have to be grateful for what we have. And also, what are we doing to help others, right? No, and if you're not helping yourself, you can't help others, the kids, because the kids is always, it's I want this, right? But you have to also teach, look, the unfortunate, less fortunate than you, no matter what unfortunate things you have. But if you look at the positive, you're gonna focus on the positivity. And I think of trying to make it better instead of dwelling on the negative of, we don't have two pens. I say you don't have one pen. But if you say, well, I'm blessed to have one pen, right? That you can write, you can draw, you can do whatever. Being creative in making it fun in spirituality also, but also being real, authentic. There's nothing sugarcoat about it. And I think that's something that for me, me and my kids pray at night before they go to sleep. It's like a mantra we sing, but singing in a mantra way. And then praying for others' well-being. I think those are, I think spirituality also taught me is that you don't attach to the outcomes, meaning you want to pray for something, you want to do something, and you want that back outcome so bad, you tie to it. And you're like, oh, I do so much work every day, repetition. How come I don't see any result? That's when you're not going to get any. If you untie yourself with the expectation of I'm getting something out of it, then it will come. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. Right, Mike?
You got it. So I lost count. I told y'all I was about to fall out of my chair, right? So you got another question?
Last question, and this is for those who are listening. Dr. New, what would you say to a young woman entrepreneur who maybe she already has a child, maybe there's one on the way, and she's getting into entrepreneurship? What wisdom would you want to give? And you can even picture your younger self, but what wisdom would you give someone in that position?
I would say that if you are in this journey, whatever you pick as your, the journey in your entrepreneur, you have to know your why is bigger than yourself. If you're doing something that if no one else believes, but you believe that it will happen for the higher purpose, meaning for the well-being of all humanity, let's say, right? You want something huge, bigger than yourself, go forward, then it will happen. But you don't lose hope. Don't lose that faith in yourself, because everything starts within us and you have everything within you. So that's what I want them to hear, that they have everything. The gift and all the zone of genius, it starts with them. So we need more of those to be out there. And there's so many of like Mike and James and Izzy and Sindel and, Tanya and Michael and all these amazing people that you're going to hear are here supporting, cheer you on. So don't ever feel like you're alone. Like the Hounds of Business is here supporting you. That's what I wanted. But really, truly care.
Beautiful.
Truly care beyond the numbers, meaning they can reach out. like free consultation if you can't dial, but meaning there's things that will get you over if you find the right people in your community. So love you all.
Thank you,
Check
Mike.
this
And
out.
What happened,
Yeah,
Mike?
check this out. You're all excited today, man. You got me excited, man. Woo, like coffee, like a pot of coffee right there. Thank you so much, Dr. New. She loves Mother's Day. Look at her. All right. So, hey, James, you're a super pro, man. You are cooler than a ceiling fan, man. I tell you, I appreciate you. You embody the pack principles. And hey, folks out there looking, hey, don't take my word for it. Of course, I'm going to say we're great. Take their word for it. Go talk to them. See the real deal. All right. This is who we hang with. This is unbelievable. So thank you all. We're going to kick you off, but not out of the pack. Don't worry about it. So love you guys. Appreciate you. And wow, it's amazing. I love just spotlighting people. Speaking of people, good people. Wow, Jay, how are you today, man?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Man, I don't even know. Like, I saw you for 5 seconds. I was like, I like that guy. I was like, I like that guy. And apparently everybody has that effect. So either you're a really good dude or you just got some magic we don't know about. So, and then we've got the great Dr. CJ, Level Up Academy, right?
Hey,
Our
CJ.
publicity queen. She is styling. She got a new hairstyle again. It's great. I like it. All right. So you two, man, Jason, you haven't been here very long, have you? Yeah, been a pack couple
No.
months, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I'll tell you, seniority don't mean squat to me. There you go. We'll be PG. And I love it. You came in, you just started doing stuff, and boom, right? And CJ, I've never met anybody with a bigger heart, bigger brain that used all her power, all the things that she's got to give people. They can't afford resources, not accessible, and she makes that happen for people across the board. I was in her great book, her and Susanna Dawn, life-changing experience, unbelievable professionalism. I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to let you two spotlight. Jason, thank you for doing this, man. And CJ, don't get
Thank
shy
you.
now. I mean, you're all over TV. So y'all have at it. Love you guys.
Love you, Mike. Jason, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I found out
Yeah.
some really, really interesting things about your family. You got 2 daughters.
Yep.
So tell me, what are the most uh, proudest things that you have about your kids?
Wow, I have a lot actually. So I have a 20-year-old this year and a 17-year-old this year. And I think my proudest moments for sure is when they recognize and realize that I'm not just about repeating myself a million times, like, don't do this, don't do that because of this and that. And they're like, oh, mom. And they roll their eyeballs. And then one day it just clicks and you're like, mom, you're right. That kid over there needs a discipline. So is the mom needs a discipline. I'm like, hallelujah. It actually fitted. It took me only 20 years to tell you this, but it clicks in. I think I'm so proud that they recognize that I am strict sometimes, and I like discipline, I like order, but it's not to be mean, but to be a good citizen of society, right? Not out of control when I see some of these people now. So when my kids recognize that I didn't do them dirty, I wasn't really a bad strict mom, it's proudest moment for me as a mom, for sure.
That's awesome. So, I mean, you do so many different things. You wear a lot of hats. How do you balance everything that you do with your family life?
I actually, everything is on a calendar. I have ADHD, so anything that I see shiny objects, I literally go there and I go here. So everything is in my calendar. I have 4 calendars, but this one is my main calendar. So if you're not in my calendar, you're not it. Even my family outings, my husband's date, our game night, our whatever outings that we do is on that calendar. So I stick to it and I don't deviate from it so much because I have a lot going on a daily basis, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not just a mom, though. You're also a wife. So, I mean, how does your husband factor into everything that you do? Is he part of your business, or Do you
No, he
everything
has
set?
his own business. He has his own business too, and he has his own job, and we have our own job. Actually, we have date nights. We do play video games. We have movie nights. We also have Friday lunch dates. I've been married 21 years. So, yeah, we have consistently structured our date nights literally on the same day, Friday lunch date. No matter what we're doing, we drop everything and we do that for sure. So it's there's always consistency. And then nighttime, maybe 3 or 4 nights a week, we watch horror movies. I love zombie movies. I love horror movies. I like screaming. So that is something that I structure with my husband as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, in today's world, it's really really hard to sustain a relationship, and you're at 21 years, you're almost at your silver anniversary. What advice would you give to couples that want to have a long-term relationship?
Stop controlling people. I tried that controlling thing where I actually, my husband, what I hate. Oh, I hope he's not listening. He has this socks. He takes off his socks, and I tell him, I'm like, honey, put it on the laundry, and he's like, oh, it's too far. So I bought him a laundry basket next to his bed. The laundry basket's right here, and the sock still goes right here. I was like, I give up. I'm done. Like, I'm not even gonna worry about it anymore. So definitely not control everyone, and encourage them to have a hobby, encourage them to have friends outside of your circle, encourage them to get something that they really love and passionate about. So if your husband likes video games or collecting things, um, life is temporary. We could die right now, like even talking live, right? So don't be so uptight, just have fun, and give ways. And I'm an only child, he's only an only child, so compromise is a foreign word for me. I don't like compromising. But in order for you to stay that long, you have to compromise on some things for sure.
Okay, how important is it to have similar things that you enjoy doing together in a marriage?
Not the same thing all the time because I get bored. Like literally, I'm like, get away, just go somewhere else. I would say definitely have something commonality. Like we love videos, we love going to comic convention, we love going to Monster Palooza. You have to have certain activities like traveling or things like that that you like to do because you need that relationship. You need that, and have a time you talk about yourselves and your relationship rather than your kids or work, for sure.
Okay, your kids know how to sing. Do you have any hidden talents that nobody knows about?
I can do programming. I don't know if anyone knows that. Like I can do computer software program, and I fly a drone. I like flying drones for sure. I like a lot of things actually, for sure. I like to make jewelry, pens, create a lot of things. And I do makeup for junior Broadway shows.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep.
Are we at 10 minutes? I don't want to go over the top.
One more question. It says so we have to stay within that 10 minutes. So we end at 4:40 for our session. So one more question.
One more question. All right. So how did you get involved with the Hounds? How did that start?
It actually started. I probably am one of the oldest Hound member here. I've known Mike since January, December of 2022. Um, it's just being on the show, like live shows and getting in there, having a meeting, helping people out. And he find that I'm always consistent when I help out. I don't ask anything back. It only thing that I ask is reciprocity, being kind, being compassionate, and give without asking anything back. Right? When you give, you need to give with intentions from your heart, not like, oh, I'm going to give. I'm going to expect you to give me something back. I love to just provide, and it will come back to you, threefolds. But I think some people, when they give, they have intentions like, I need to get something back from that. What's my ROI? What's in it for me? The with them. You don't need to do that. Just give. And I've done that consistently. So Mike, I think, have seen that. So I'm still here. I haven't get kicked out yet.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about the Hounds. I mean, everybody's so giving. And, you know, the reciprocity is definitely there too. It's an awesome community. Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Don't go nowhere. Hey, real quick, CJ, when I first met you, you had what, 2,000 followers. Didn't know you from Adam, and someone said, "Hey, go meet her." So I showed up, just so folks know. I showed up to the Zoom, and you were there spotlighting your students, pushing them up, giving them exposure, helping them. I said, "Wow, I can get behind that." And see, you can't base it on vanity metrics because this lady's doing a whole ton of stuff, guys, in the world. And how many people looked at it and said, "Oh, she only got 2 followers." Well, good, because I didn't. So I'm giving y'all a secret out there. Just, man, don't count your eggs before they hatch, right? Go out there, make friends. You don't know who you're talking to, right? And same thing with Jason. And Jason, honestly, people like, "Hey, me and Jason are friends." I'm like, they're probably in the Hounds now. Like birds of a feather flock together. So
I love
this
Jason.
is what,
Yeah, he's
Oh,
oh yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
he's the real deal, and he's out there. You're all about sharing your message, and some people want that message, and some people don't. And you're fine either way. That man, there's nothing cooler than that. I love that. So thank you both. That was a great interview. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do for us. Man, yeah. Have a great day. Thank you for that. All right, who's on deck now? Oh man. All right, here's the showstopper here. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. Well, let's bring him up. I'm gonna tell our story. Nobody's ever heard our story. Is that Mr. Chasen? Let's go ahead and bring Mr. Chasen up. You can bring Jackie up too, but I
Look
wanna pick
out!
on Chasen.
Look out! Look out!
Man, my goodness. Chasen forehand. How are you,
Man,
brother?
I was screaming at you when you were like, "Who told James Valentine about the Hounds?" I'm like, "Brother, what?"
I told
It's
you I'm
been a
getting
long
old.
day for you. It has been a long day for you. Oh my goodness.
Man,
I missed the earlier Bob Berg thing because I was out with my wife and she had some doctor's appointments. She's on the show commenting because we, just like Dr. Leland, we every Friday night is date night, man. It's date night. This is what we've done. 25 years we've done this. So crazy.
well, good. Hey, see, you're like Michael Carr. You're not in the doghouse either. And so I met Chasen over a year ago, right?
Oh
And
man,
it's one of
longer
those,
than that. Yeah.
oh
Back
man,
at
year and a half,
SBN
two,
days.
two
SBN.
years.
Yes.
Man.
The other
Hey,
Mike.
yeah, oh yeah. That's my buddy. I talk about him all the time. So we didn't have a lot of crossover then. Life happens, and here we are. So
Yeah.
again, guys, you never know. When good people, you never take them off your radar. Period. And then we got Jackie. Again, part of my, me being old right now, I don't know. Um, but I've seen her around forever. Probably who invited you, Jackie?
Uh, at least 3 people did, but possibly the first one was Johanna. And
Nice.
yeah, and then Christine Bell, and then Isabel, and then of course you. So by that time, I just said, okay, I'm here because I love all of you. So the ones I've met so far. So I can't wait to meet more of you.
Beautiful. And she came in and just started doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's it. I love it. Thank you for that. Guys, I'm gonna be quiet, let you rock chasing. Um and this guy, he's an MC like no other. So love you both. Have fun. And
Oh, boom, and then he's gone, just like that. He just poof. Well, I had the pleasure of being able to talk to Jackie Olmsted, and I have to tell you, she made me practice this because I couldn't pronounce Ahwatukee, Arizona. So I practiced it just so I could say that Ahwatukee, Arizona. She is, and my wife and I have lived in the Phoenix area and outside of it. We talked a little bit about that. But one of the cool things I really loved in getting to know Jackie was about her earth mama living, about her healing, about her polarity therapy, her sound healing. She's an artist. She's a graphic designer. This is a super, super talented lady who is in touch with her own spirituality and her own understanding of how the universe works with ourselves, our mentality, and our bodies. And she just recently got a local space. I think you said with a massage therapist or someone that you work with, so that you could do one-on-one and group therapy sessions as well. So check out what she's doing. She's absolutely fantastic. But you know what? This is about Mom's Day. And for me, this is a interesting place because, as I've shared with a couple of people, I did not have that maternal figure. So being able to spotlight someone as amazing as you and tell your story really warms my heart and really helps me. So you shared with me that you had some struggles with pregnancy. You actually had 4 miscarriages and you wanted to have a child. It was really something that was important to you. And having all natural childbirth was really important to you. And you finally had Amelia when you were 40 years old. Amelia now is 15 and a half years old. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But how did having Amelia at 40 change your life?
Oh my goodness. Nothing was the same at all. So really, everything changed for sure. Well, thank you for all the kudos. That's so kind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was wonderful to meet you and hear about what you're doing as well. But changed my life. Yeah. It's funny. I never knew what sleep deprivation neurosis was until that. And it was funny because it was the one thing I was most afraid of is the sleep deprivation. But I was like a truck going through the night. I was like, I'm doing this. And I was wandering around the house and being crazy because I had sleep deprivation. So I would have to say, learning how to just do it, because I mean the hormones and everything made it so I had to. I mean, there was no, the survival of my child depended on me showing up and feeding her. I'm very blessed because I was able to breastfeed, and I learned all about how that helps the child have the most amazing health benefits by doing that. And I know, anyway, that's a whole other topic, but yeah, I felt like it truly gave me laser focus for me as an individual human female and what it means to be a parent. And certainly after that was all new stuff as well. I didn't prepare for the other stuff.
Well, you even told me when we talked that Amelia doesn't have your allergies, doesn't have any allergies, and really doesn't have any health issues. So obviously what you did and how you prepared and the way that you were able to bring Amelia into the world worked. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Well, in our conversation, you mentioned that you had a chance to talk to a whole bunch of other mothers, that you did this interview segment and you talked to them and interviewed them about their experiences. I would love for you to share that. Like, why did you interview these women and what were you hoping to get out of the interview?
Oh, that's a great question. I was studying to be a doula eventually. That's what my whole point was for doing the interviews. But one of the assignments was, oh no, pardon me. It was actually part of the childbirth Bradley method, which is what I use. And the interviews were to discuss with women from the generation before me and two before me, and to hear what it was like at hospitals, back in the 40s and the 50s and then the 60s, certainly when I was born, and to hear how it was for them to, first of all, not feel that they had any choice about how they were going to be having their child. And it's interesting. It gets very controversial, for sure. all of the details, and I don't want to get too controversial, but let's just say it gave me a really big appreciation for how it was, and I'm even sure that it's different than in 2008 when I had my daughter, because things evolve so quickly. So I just was amazed, and I also remembered stories later, after having talked to my mom about, when I was born and how it was back then, and hear what she went through as a new mom and how stressful and challenging it was for her. In fact, it's so weird, but the hospital where I was born is not even there anymore. It's in Georgetown, Georgetown, Washington, D.C. area. I don't know why, but I guess they made a new hospital. But so strange to think that where I was born doesn't exist. But anyway, but yeah, I loved talking to other moms and just really listening. Certainly good practice for me as a human is to listen and to hear, and also from a perspective of non-judgment, to say, oh, wow, it was like that, and not get into it, well, why didn't you try to, it wasn't like that. It was just listening. This is how it was. And so now we have a lot of choices. We do. We're lucky. We're very grateful. I'm very grateful now for that.
Well, I have one other question for you, and we didn't prepare this, but I would love to know what your favorite thing is about Amelia and why.
Oh my goodness. Well, my favorite thing is seeing that she actually does listen, not necessarily. I know you all know as parents, you say things, or you lead by example, and when you just stick to your plan, you stick to, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I believe in, and then eventually she listens. But she's also really talented, and of course, all the love to give kudos to her, being very talented and intelligent, but I just appreciate her as another extension, a new person, who's part of me, but her own true self. That's the biggest thing. She's her own true self.
That's incredible. And she's just over 15, right? 15 and a half years old.
Yes.
And I know you're super proud. I know you're super proud of her. What does she want to be when she grows up? Does she ever thought about that right now? Or have you guys talked about that?
It's interesting. I think she's very influenced by her dad, which is totally fine. I appreciate him for, we're not together, but we have shared parenting time, and I support him. But she talks about doing coding. She talks about doing science and technology, and like, hey, whatever you feel is best for you. I mean, you're only 15 and a half, so you've got time.
You've got time to figure it out, right? Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure for me to be able to speak to you and to learn more about you and to learn why you're in the Hounds and what you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Ta-da, there's Mike. He's back.
I'll unmute again. Papa Mike, working. Hey, Jackie, wow, that was amazing. Hey, thank you so much. So glad to have you in the pack. It's not funny. Chasen, you're a gentleman and a scholar, buddy. You are good at this, man. And I know you got to be as tired as me because you don't stop at all. And by the way, I meant to call this out. CJ said she plays video games. Like, what? Really? Like, she's got 500 doctor degrees, 600 businesses, and she play.
Hey.
So I have no excuse. Yeah.
I do not have all of those degrees, but my wife and I, we love it. It's one of the things we'll get on and we'll crush some stuff. I'm just saying.
Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, you make time for stuff that matters. So I'm going to take my own advice. Hey, Jackie, you are inspiring. I appreciate you. Love having you here. Chasen, HR4U. Love the organization. Love the people you bring. Thank you for all the support from me personally and professionally to the pack. You're a gem, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. So hey, last but not least, all right, definitely not least. All right, this person, man, they felt like we've been friends forever and hadn't been that daggum long, man. And so that's what happens when you get into an ecosystem where you're allowed to just get to know people and really get to know who they are, not just what they do. So, first of all, thank you, Jackie Hallberg, for who you are, not only what you do. How are you today, other than tired?
Well, since we text all day long and I told you how crazy it was, it's been a good day, but my voice is a little out. It's been a little interesting with the sicknesses and the allergies going around up here in Michigan, but I'm so glad to be here. What a great show. I've loved getting to know more about my hound friends.
Me too. It is so fun just to relax, and I mean, we've all been killing it and working hard and doing these collabs and all this stuff. So it's funny because you and I got to meet a couple weeks ago, still talking about it because I don't go to the gas station. Y'all think I'm joking. I got some donuts like 2 weeks ago, but now I'm thinking about going to Florida. So that there you go. It's happening. But my daughter, like, still text you like hey, I want to say hi to Jackie. I'm like, oh wow, right? The whole family loves you. And, how fun is it? Like, we met online. People say online or they say real life and, online. I've got more in-depth real life relationships with people I haven't even met yet. And when we meet, it's always amazing. Like, wasn't it like we never
Yeah.
like, we always knew each other.
Yeah.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah. So I have now met 49 of my LinkedIn connections. I think you were about number 39 or 40, but you were only the second family I had ever met. So it was so cool how welcoming your family was. The fact that you were willing to just like, hey, the first time I'm meeting this strange lady I've been talking to so much on LinkedIn, and she's part of the Hounds, and she does so much talk all the time. I'm bringing her to my kids and my wife. It was so cool. And I felt like, since my kids are older, Mike, it was really neat getting to see your kids, having their energy and having them just welcome me so much. It was super cool.
So I'm just a number to you. Is that what I heard? Is that what that's what it looked Jason's
Um,
like,
um,
"Yeah, you shouldn't say that."
well, you're my
Alright.
first
Hey,
pack
that's
leader, so you are number one in that area.
There you go. Look, you can't get nothing past her, man. She's a goalie. She's a goalie for my stupidity. I'll tell you. Bap, bap. All right. So it's been so much fun. Again, quickly became friends, had a lot in common. You have done so much. So I've seen your audio room. You were tell people because I want them to know. I want them to know to get behind what you do, the passion that you bring, just like chasing, right? Just all passion. And that's what brings people to. So you have a major passion. You do a lot of stuff, but reentry, people who are incarcerated. Tell us why and what you do there.
So, it's pretty wild. It is something that's a passion of mine, even though I've never been incarcerated myself. I have worked for about 20 years working with people that have been incarcerated in prisons, jails, or in youth detention facilities. And unfortunately, our society does not. They don't recognize that some humans don't deserve to be treated like animals and that people deserve to be safe in their community, no matter what their background is or what their role is. And this is a Mother's Day show. Every single human had a mother. Okay. And we don't always remember that when those babies grow up a little bit. And we don't want to always remember that people aren't defined by the worst day of their life. Sometimes we definitely want to put people in boxes. And so that's what I do. I try to make sure that people learn about the term reentry. They learn about making safe decisions when they come back from prison or jail, but also that the community makes safe decisions so that they are not put in a situation where they may not do a great job again. So that's my big project. And then, I do my little travel stuff because I also think women need to be supported to know that even if they're single, if they're solo, they can do and go wherever they want. So I like to highlight that for the women tonight because so many women define their lives by their families or their kids, and they forget that they deserve to remember what they wanted to do when they were younger or where they wanted to see or explore and not be defined by how can you go by yourself? Don't you need a man with you? How can you do that? How can you leave your kids? It's like, come on.
No, you're just like CJ. I mean, how many hours do you get? Oh gosh.
Well, those are my two
And
private
again,
businesses. You forget about my day job.
oh yeah, we don't have time for that. You got a big Tom Brokaw style resume. Nobody's got time for that. Okay, CJ Junior. All right. So, but Yeah, seriously, you're so passionate about what you do,
Mhm.
and you had 70, almost 70 people during a ball game, and a lot of guys, right? Um, yeah, on the deck, I was blown away. Honestly, here, I never told this, so this is what you get for sticking in here. If you're still watching this, so I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna jump in this room because I'm gonna feel bad for her. Ain't nobody gonna be here because everybody's watching the game. It's Sunday, blah blah blah." I pop in, and I'm like, I'm late, and there's 66 people in there going crazy over, social justice issues. You know, you can have all the skill set in the world, Jackie, but your heart says it all, and that's what
Mhm.
I love about it. So with all that, you have grown children now, right? So
Yeah.
you don't have to change diapers and things, right? So and you got some boys, right? So let me ask you this. First of all, um, were you surprised? What surprised you? Did anything surprise you when you had your first kid in the first year? Because I remember that everything surprised me.
Honestly, so crazy story. They tried to induce my daughter for 5 weeks. My body did not want to release her. She did not want to come out of me.
Oh wow.
So when they finally were able to surgically remove her, she was 2 weeks past her due date. She was over 10 pounds. She slept through the night on the second night. She hardly ever cried. I was like, am I doing something wrong? Everybody says having a newborn is so scary. And oh my gosh, you're never going to sleep and you're not going to be able to do anything. And I'm like, this is just too easy. So I used to take her to restaurants, or me and her dad did, and people would walk by us and we're like, we had no idea there was a kid in this booth because they're not making any noise. How can you go out in public with a newborn? Or, well, she wasn't quite a newborn, but such a young baby and she's not crying. So it was hilarious. So I had such an easy time with my daughter. My son's first year, a total different story. Never slept with him.
This show's wild. Like, so natural child. I'm a guy, and I'm like, well, hats off to you, dude. There's no natural child. Now you're coming around talking about, that's like, wow, dude. I never knew that. I just
Yeah.
learned something new about you. My mind's blown now. All right. So, look, I even had a cheat sheet, so I didn't just say
Aw, you
even
know
the other
everything
stuff.
about me. Why you need a cheat sheet?
I didn't know that. That was cool. So I'm gonna go and try to find another one that I didn't know. So what surprised you most about adult children, right? So we know kids, right? But was there a surprise having grown kids? And you're like,
Ugh.
I didn't
It's a
expect that.
surprise every day having grown kids. It's like
Okay.
you still see them as somebody you need to take care of and somebody that, you want to hear from every day, but they're grown. They've got other things to do. They've got jobs and partners and volunteer opportunities and all this life stuff. And I got to admit, sometimes it's a little sad. I mean, y'all that got them that are still in the house and they're young all the time, enjoy those days. Because even when you're tired, even when they ask you so many questions, even when they kind of butt up against you a little bit, the time with the young ones is fleeting. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, life can pass so quick, but when you have kids, it's just gone. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can do what I want because I don't have to be taking care of them all the time. But it's also kind of terrifying because it's like, they don't need mom all the time. What happened? Where did I go wrong?
Well, that's the good news. You didn't go wrong,
Yeah.
right? Because you
But now
don't
I
want
got
like
Emma
man
and
babies
Kira.
in your yeah. You don't want man babies in your house. I told Kira I was going to get a moving truck and give her some money on her birthday. My mom, like,
Just send her
why?
straight up to me. I'll take care of her.
It's the redneck equivalent of throwing the baby bird out the nest. That's what. Look at Doctor New back there. Like that's not right. You shouldn't do that. See, we bring her up. Everybody should see that face she just made at me. Oh no, that's not good. So love you, Doctor New. All right. Let me see. Gosh, there's so many things. Do you think because you're young, so do you think being a mom has helped you be a better person and professionally and performing your business and the passion and all that stuff you got, and why, if so?
Oh, that was like 7 questions in one. First of all, I am not young, Mike, but thank you very much for saying that. Having kids defined me in so many capacities. So part of my job, I talk about reentry. So that means working with people that have committed the crimes, but I also work with the victims of crime. So those people that have been assaulted, stolen from, possibly their family member was murdered. It's tough stuff. And when you do have babies and your goal in your job is to protect them, and you think about what if this was them, it changes your perspective. But then I also think about, what if my babies did make a horrible mistake and they did have to go to jail or prison for it? Would that change who they are as a human? Would that be something that they just need to learn and grow from so they don't ever hurt somebody again? So, absolutely, without a doubt, having kids has changed my life, but you don't have to have biological kids to see that. Whether they're your nieces or nephews, or they're your neighbor kids that you spend time with, or if you're a teacher or somebody that works with kids, you can see the impact when kids are sad, when kids you can tell probably don't have the best home situation. There's a better chance that they're not going to have great adulthoods either. So why can't we intervene as humans, whether they're our biological blood, whether we adopted them, whether they're our stepchildren or neighbors or nieces and nephews? That's kind of my thing.
No, I'm with you. I'm going to do a little tiny bit of advocacy here because innocent people go to jail. People who didn't do much or
Yes.
didn't, violent crimes, their whole lives, and the children and the families and the just the hardships it creates. It's scary. You
Yes.
could go to jail. I mean, anybody. I mean, it's really, we try to get it right, but we're flawed. It's a very flawed legal system, in my opinion, and I have a great heart for that. Like that's why I showed up to your stuff, because I'm just like, wow, that could be any
Yes.
of us. I'm in finance. We did background checks. People can't work with me because they cashed a cold check on accident or something, or being stupid at 18. Come on, you were 18. Like if I was a judge, I've been like, "Psst, get out of here." Like you never like. So I have a lot of compassion. We just can't say that they're bad people. No, man, they might have made a minor mistake or misguided. Now they're good people, and I'm all about it. So I'm not going to go on and on. It's not the reentry show. It's Jackie on Mother's Day show. So, um, if you could do anything over again, right? So if you can go back and redo anything, would you? All right, and what would you do differently, if anything?
Oh, that's super personal.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to
Honestly,
answer though.
I divorced. When you divorce, no matter what the reasons are, it changes the way you parent. It changes the way you feel about your own identity. When you don't get to see your kids every single day, whew,
Yeah.
it's tough. Would I change the divorce situation? No. But would there have been some things that could have been different along the way, both before, after, and during? Absolutely. So that's the one thing that, again, we're one bad decision away from going to jail or prison. We're one bad decision to having guilt and anger and sadness and frustration at ourselves. That's not the way we need to live. So no matter where you are in your journey, as a mom, as a dad, as a step parent, however you are, remember that kids learn from some of our bad mistakes, and they tend to do them, or they tend to say, I'm never doing that bad mistake, or I'm going to change how I do stuff because what I saw. The biggest important thing is, as an adult, as a parent, is to talk to your kids and let them know what's going down, let them know your feelings. And that's hard as an adult, because we want to shelter our babies, or we want to make sure that they think that we're just perfect all the time. And we're not always perfect, and that's okay, because life is a journey and it changes all the time. So, boy, you asked me some really intense questions, my friend. Thank you, though. You got me thinking already.
You don't have to answer, or you could just answer whatever you feel like
I
answering.
gotta
You
answer.
know
You're
that.
the hound leader. I mean, come on. Don't kick me out.
Yeah, now, you don't ever do nothing you don't want to. So there you go. You're strong because you balancing all these businesses and all this crap. I respect you. I respect you a lot. Right,
Thank you.
mom, you wear many different hats, but you wear them all gracefully. And you're absolutely right. My daughter had an incident with some mean kids, and I told her, honey, it doesn't get better. I'm like, honestly, you're at the nursing home. It's probably like high school there too. Like like even grown ups. Right, but it does force us to. It's easy to be vulnerable. Say, hey, look, daddy wants to do that, but daddy doesn't, and here's why. Right. And that whole, like, I've seen her transform from that. So you're absolutely right. Don't try to be perfect. Just teach from your lessons. Like, hey, daddy did that and that sucked and we won't do it again. And here's why. Right. Like now she's listening to me. Like she don't want the perfect guy. She wants the one that she can relate to. I know, real quick. Any last real quick advice on entrepreneurial moms, right? Maybe there's
Yeah.
other folks that's divorced. A lot of people do that. So
Oh, yeah.
what's your advice?
Don't wait. Don't wait until your babies grow up. Don't wait until you have enough money. Don't wait until you have the perfect partner. If you have a dream and a goal, start planting those seeds, start reaching out to people, join communities like the Hounds of Business community, get guidance from people that have been in those shoes, that have walked the walk and have really tried to bring their business to fruition, because somebody out there needs your services. They need to learn from you as well. So I appreciate what the Hounds have done for me also, because, even though I've been around the block, I'm not a brand new mom, I'm not a brand new business owner, it's still tough. And when you have a wonderful, supportive community, like so many that are in the comments tonight, people that have been on the screen tonight, it makes you remember you're not alone. And so reach out to people, find your support network, and don't wait too long. So thank you for asking me that. Thank you for all the questions and having me here tonight, Mike.
Oh man, y'all trying to make me cry? Because y'all might. It's been a long week. But hey, I feel the same about you. You know, birds of a feather flock together. As long as we're attracting folks like you, chasing Jackie, all the amazing people here in the comments, backstage, I know we're in the right path. I know we're doing the right things, and that's the benchmark, right? And so, hey, if we're look at Chasen back there, man. He's clapping so hard, he's gonna fly away, brother. Man, he is so energetic. We gotta bring him back just to cheerlead. Get this man some pom poms. All right. So, yeah, look, go. He was doing this. I said he gonna slap. He's a
I'm
bluebird
gonna
like
fall right
Tanya.
out of my chair. I'll just like fall right out. I'll just fall right. I can't say enough about Jack. I met Jackie one time, and ever since then I've just been like a Jackie fan.
Yeah.
I freaking love everything she's doing. I think she's an awesome human being, and that's the cool thing about the Hounds. It's like one after another after another. The Jackie Olmsted that I introduced to everybody here, and Jackie Halberg, and all these other people that are here. Sindal, good gracious, I can't do what she does. But and then there's Mike, I mean, Mike can't even remember how long ago we met, for crying out loud. But I mean,
I think he thinks we all met at the same time.
At the same time, we were in his backyard somewhere, and like this happened.
Yeah, we were having a barbecue, and then it all happened.
Mike, you're ever in this area, my grill is ready. I am ready, my friend.
I was gonna say I told everybody for the last 2 years my car turns itself around the Ohio border, right? Like me and Crocodile Dundee in New York. But you know what? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And Sandra's already gonna make me go to San Diego. So I'm like, wow, dude. So hey, that would go viral for sure. We'll just have to
my
have somebody
goodness.
videotape. All right. So you
Oh, my
guys are
goodness.
amazing. Yeah. So all right, Sindal. All right, this is your
Yep.
show now. I'm being told. My
Ooh,
producers are telling me.
it's
Shut up.
mine. Hush up, it's mine. All right, so I'm going to ask you a question. We've been talking about moms this entire time, and all of these awesome hounds, all these awesome guys have been asking all these moms questions and interviewing all these awesome mom hounds. So now this mom hound is going to interview that hound for just a second. I want to know a funny story about your mom. Tell us a funny story about your mom, your childhood, your growing up. Because you had to be hard to brain. You had to be hard to handle. Had to be. So,
She ruled with an iron fist, and everybody who knows me is like, hey, that's a smart, yeah, it's very dictatorship. She had a big heart. It was a fun childhood. When a lot of it was anyway. But yeah, she was she passed away 4 years ago. So it's one of those things, and I tell the lady hounds this all the time. The hounds moms. I'm like, listen, your kid, especially a boy, is not gonna. You're not gonna have. They're not gonna be nice. They're not gonna say thank you for that, mom. All this stuff. I said, but as you get older, your lessons and your example will make a profound impact. Seriously does. So I don't know if I answered the question, but I probably didn't. But yeah. Do I get like a C minus for that answer, or like? Well, Chase is like you bombed. Yep.
no. Yeah.
Look, I lost it. But the fun part about my mom was all the kids liked her more than me. That that looking back, it's funny now, but all the kids like they would come over and want my mom to play and do cartwheels. Like, what about me? Like, so my mom was picked for basketball before I was. She was the cool mom, and I wasn't the so cool kid. So that was what I remember. Like all the kids loved her, all the cats loved her. We have like 50 million cats. Yeah, they brought her gifts. They brought her birds and stuff. It was weird. So yeah, everybody just loved her. She was a fun person to be around, and yeah, there I did answer the question. I get a B plus.
You did. You did eventually answer the question. Yeah, you get a D plus.
B plus.
Oh,
All right, go ahead. I'll pay attention to this one. Go ahead. You got another one?
I got another one. All right. How did your mom used to handle you as a child?
I was pretty easy because I was too scared to be stupid, like overtly stupid. So like my kids don't do like I did. So when I wanted to watch TV and my mom said go to bed, I just went to bed or I pretended to go to bed and I kept it down real low. My kids are goofy. Like, hey dad, I'm eating cookies at noon. I'm like, see, I need to get a little bit more mama in there because I would never do that. Right. So I was easy to handle. I was a good kid. I know what happened. Oh, but I will tell you this. My mom always joked around and blamed my aunt for me being goofy and stuff. Because this true story, but Chasen's gonna laugh anyway. My aunt, she wasn't the most kid savvy. Like she would feed me popcorn with a bellyache. She was the fun aunt. So she took me to the ATM at the bank, but she didn't put the car seat buckle all the way. So you know how when you pop the car seat out? Yeah. So when she opened the door, I just kind of rolled down the hill. I don't know how far down this hill was, but clearly it caused some issue. But, no, but seriously, I did. I was like, and I heard this story every time I turn around. My mom would just find a way. We'd be at church talking about Easter, and she'd be like, "Yeah, he fell out the car seat." Like God bless. So I think I was an easy kid. Put it that way.
All right, last question. If you could say anything to your mama right now, what would you say to her?
Whoa! Now I know how Jackie felt earlier. Okay. Uh, th- thank you.
I need you to
Yeah,
elaborate just a bit more.
yeah. Um, thank you. Just thank you. I mean, life's tough. Things were not the greatest. It was hard. I talk about that, but there were good times. And so I would just say thanks for the good and bad because all the crap that I've been through, honestly, as corny as this sounds, get ready for it.
It's your mama. It's
All that
supposed
crap is,
to.
yeah, all that crap that I went through and things in childhood, she was always there, number one. So I would say thank you for sticking in because she didn't have to. Some moms don't do that, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying it doesn't happen. So I would say thanks for sticking around, but also, you know, if it wasn't been for the situation and all those things, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be able to share stories that's helped families in the inside out. This goes way beyond business. This is about who we are as people, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to learn from that. She did teach me a lot of good, even through the struggle. And, um, I would thank her. And I miss her every day, to be honest. But here's a little fun fact since I got real deep. I can't really miss her. I can't miss her because she's really never gone because she lives in my oldest. My oldest daughter is just like, and my mother's curse. She said it every day. Look, Chasen's heard it before. I hope when you get older, you have a kid and he's just like you.
Oh,
She almost got it right. She is just like me.
she,
It was, yeah. So little daddy in the house. But she is my mom. She loves cats. She yells for no reason. It is so strange. And yeah, just
right?
loud, like, I get that too. But yeah, it's fun because I really don't. I, it, you know, it, we really have a good time and we talk about her and the little ones still talk about her. So, you choose to hone in on the good times. That's what I do, you know. So I'm just grateful and blessed to be here. I mean, I wouldn't have life if she didn't stick it out. So there you go. Great question.
It was a very good answer.
Yeah, about time, man. I was bombing there for the first 50 minutes. But hey, woo! We like comebacks, don't we, Jackie? Look, she's playing solitaire back there. She's not even looking. Dr. News praying for me. And Jackie said, "Oh no, I don't know if I'm in the Hounds anymore." And Chasen's just a happy guy. He's just back there smiling because that's what he does. So, all right. Anything left? Anything back there? Is Isabel? We
No,
good? We good?
we're getting told to rev it up. Let's wrap
Okay.
this thing up
Okay.
like a present. She's done.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Day.
No, close us out. Say Happy Mother's Day and thank everybody.
Well, happy Mother's Day, everyone. If you're a hound, thank you for coming. If you came today, if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. If you are not a hound, scan that QR code, come and join us. You will not regret it. thank you so much for coming. We hope you've enjoyed yourself. We've enjoyed you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good
Until
job.